Good morning, everyone. Sunday, 3rd of July. How is everyone? Calvin would like to say good morning to everyone. He's 1 week today here on Sunday. How's everyone going? It looks like the sun might just come out a bit in Melbourne here, Danny and Manaliza. We're very lucky in Melbourne. We're very, very lucky to have good weather compared to, say, Queensland and New South Wales, who have floods and many other problems. We are very, very lucky. Now, friends, there's a lot going on in the world, and you know that my videos are often either about people, parrots, or politics. So I'm going to mix a bit today. I'm just washing my celery, preparing my celery juice. What time is it? It is, oh, there's my phone. I don't know what time it is, but I know it's probably around 10ish. I've got Foxtel on, which I have every Sunday morning. I've got Foxtel Sky News Australia on, because I like to see what they talk about and what they're saying, and I do learn things. Right, doctors urge caution over tampon shortage, but tampons are shit for us anyway. Who wants stuff stuck up their VJ anyway, right? I don't think they're very healthy for us anyway. Now, friends, there's a lot going on in the world. I'm just going to add a few things that I've heard this morning. This ambulance problem that's happening in Melbourne and Queensland, I can't remember now if it's also in New South Wales. This should not be happening. For logical reasons, right? And logistical reasons. There's human beings on this planet who can work as paramedics. We've got the ambulances, as in the cars, the vehicles, ambulances. I can't understand why there is such a problem of people being treated. And I heard this morning that a young girl, I think in Melbourne, because I'm referring to our hopeless premier, to the hopeless Labor government. They're all hopeless, all the political parties. Most of them. I'm just referring to who's in power at the moment in Victoria and Melbourne. This girl died because she was waiting for an ambulance. Now, I believe that, and I cannot understand the sadness, as much as I empathise very, very deeply. I'm one of the very few people actually who can empathise deeply. I'm not blowing my horns, I know what I'm saying. But I've had bad experiences with Ambulance Victoria too, horrible. And I actually got the CD recording from Esther, E-S-T-A, of my recording. And one day when I've got time, I'll upload it and I'll post it so you can see I was suffering and no ambulance came to help me. In the end, I had to call Philip when we weren't living together to come and take me to the Frankston Hospital. He knew fuck all anyway what to do about my health issues. So I don't know how Australian families are accepting. I should be shouting because I'm quite sensitive these days. How the hell are Victorian families accepting that we don't have an efficient running ambulance service? I can't understand. And like they were just saying on Sky News here, right? Because they've still got it on. It's on Foxtel. If you don't have Foxtel, friends, you can listen to it live on iHeart Sky News Australia Radio. iHeart, letter I, the heart, H-E-A-R-T. Just Google iHeart Radio. It's got all sorts of radio stations, and look for Sky News Australia. Because there's also Sky News, overseas. Different countries, UK and whatever other countries. As you can see, Calvin thinks I'm... So, if you don't have Foxtel, I understand, because there's stuff all shows. I have it on because Philip likes to watch sport and other crap and whatever. I cannot understand how in Victoria, in Australia, we do not have a health system that is running efficiently. I don't get it. A 200-year-old country. We've got so many professionals. We've got hospitals and shit. What the hell is going on? How have we allowed the Labor government in Victoria to continue? Why on earth for 8 years is this dickhead Premier and the Labor dickhead party allowed to be running? I'll tell you how it's running. Because you know who they've got on their side? They've got the LGBTIQ, who've completely lost the plot. And I can say that why. Because at least 20 years ago, I used to financially support Joy FM, the only gay radio station in Australia. And I used to listen to them every day. And I used to hear them talk about sex, and more sex. It's all about fucking sex. When Damien and Kay were on, Damien was great, I loved him, but Kay was all about sex. And I loved their music. That's why I was listening to it, because I love their music. I love that dance music, right? Why on earth are Labor still in power in Australia, not just in the States, in Australia? In Victoria and Queensland, Labor states cannot get a fucking ambulance system running right and a health system running right. And I don't care about this shit that the elite one is sick and the pharmaceuticals one is sick to sell whatever. I don't care about that, friends. I don't focus on the negative and on the bad whys. I don't care about that. I focus on how to fix the negatives, how to fix, F-I-X, fix. Why the hell are Australian families, Victoria, Queensland, any other states that have got these problems, why are we accepting our loved ones dying when our state premiers who've got more power than the prime ministers? Did you know that? Did you know that the premiers and the ministers, the premiers in Australia of every state and the ministers have more power than the judges of this country and of the prime minister? Did you? Well, a lot of you know that, but you still do nothing about it. Still doing nothing about it. I'm just washing my celery, right? Because if I don't cleanse myself, I don't know how I'm going to manage. All day, every day, I don't do lives anymore like I used to every day 2 years ago. Why? Because I've got hundreds of birds to care for from my own pocket, my own time that I don't get paid for. I listen, read all day, every day, and I'm thinking, are there other human beings out there that know what the fuck is going on? Or am I just here isolated on my own? I don't get it. And when I do go out, which I'm going out a lot more regularly lately to get foods for the parrots, let me just get my tongs. I go out and I see so many people doing stuff-ups, and I'm thinking, am I the only one in this world who is noticing that the past, from 2021 to now, so it's a year and a half now, because we're in July, there goes the freaking year. Am I the only one who's noticing that a lot of people have got memory issues of all ages? And you know what? I thought I was the only one that noticed it, but I'm not. Because the past few weeks I listen to 3W every morning too when I can. It just depends where I am. It depends on the weather too, because the weather forces me to be outside. When it's bad weather, I've got to be outside. When it's very hot, I've got to be outside with the children. Right? It depends on the weather. And any emergency rescues. They're saying that there's a brain memory issue going around. And I know what it's from. It's from this bug. This other new man-made bugs that are going around. I know this. I know it from personal experience. And I know it clairvoyantly also. Right? So I'm thinking to myself, I'm not making it up. Because they're saying that out there too. And it's not that I'm picking up what other people are saying. I'm experiencing it with myself. When you were aware, if you cut your finger and you were aware that you're bleeding, you put a Band-Aid on it and you look out for it to heal, right? So with everything that's going on out there, I'm so intuitive and so empathic and so, I pick up everything. I can hear what people are saying. I know some of you are saying, oh, Paris, you're drinking too much celery and you're hallucinating now. That's all right. Some of you will understand what I'm talking about. I don't care about those who don't care. I remember last year, I'd gone to a wedding, you know, a Greek wedding, Greek-Australian wedding here in Melbourne. I'm washing the celery at the moment. I'm washing the celery 2-3 times. It's just conventional celery, even organic you to watch. And I said to them, I'm a clairvoyant. The conversation came up. I just don't come up and say it to people because some people it scares them. And just, oh, don't want to know about it, she said. And I'm thinking, wow, you're so scared to know about the soul. You're so scared to know about the soul and the capability. I don't care about those people. These are the kind of people that they're just playing what they're going to buy, what they're going to be seen in, their clothes, their holidays and shit and whatever. I'm not interested in these people. Like I said, I'm a fix-it person. All my life I've been a solutions fix-it person. Right? All my life. In the professional areas that I've worked, in my personal areas, even though Philip's the complete opposite, but never mind, it's a bit hard. Because I am a born project manager, right? I like everything organised. Not pedantic COD, not like OCD, sorry, COD, OCD. Now, can you just hang on a second? I'm talking to my friends. I've got Calvin here, and Calvin's been 1 week with me, like I said now at the start. But instantly he connected with me, which is a good thing. Because I don't like birds being in fear. What the hell are people doing about what's going on? Nothing. There's nothing going on. Now, hang on, Calvin, because your claws are a bit tight on my skin is a bit sensitive. Now, friends, we've got the ambulance issue. Like, is that not important to anyone? Am I the only one that's concerned about it? Maybe I'm the only one, Calvin. Your claws... claws got stuck in my throat. Just calm down, Calvin. Now, am I the only one that's concerned about ambulances? Like if loved ones or myself or someone gets ill, like got to wait out. Am I the only one? This all happened pre-2000. This is not a latest thing. This has been happening for years, at least 10 years. I had my incident at least 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago. This is not a new thing with ambulances. Does anyone in Victoria care? I often think, look, I'm just thinking and talking to myself. No one is putting a petition out. No one is fighting about this. Now, no one's protesting about the ambulances in the health system. No one is. No one. No one. Now, friends, I don't script my stuff, right? Sometimes I do, but I tell you if I do. I haven't scripted my stuff. There's protests going on out there in New South Wales and Victoria. And there's the animal rights protesters, vegans, are protesting, rightfully so. But it's interesting, friends, because the animal rights groups didn't do any protests when federal Liberal were in power. But suddenly now that the Labor elections are coming on, they decided to protest. Well, I'm a bit disappointed in you guys. And that's why a lot of vegans don't like me. Just because I eat vegan plant-based doesn't mean I've got all vegan friends. No, it's the complete opposite. Because just like all groups, there are haters, trolls and all that, right? It makes a difference. I mean, Daniel Andrews' right-hand man, the Greek Aussie Steve Dimopoulos, he's a vegan. And he helped get Daniel Andrews being where he is. He's his advisor, he's fundraising hundreds of thousands, I don't know how much money, at the parties. So he's vegan. So it doesn't mean that just because you're vegan, you're a good person. There's different reasons, people become vegans. Become vegans because they know that all animals have got souls and you don't eat animals. Or they don't like the way animals are treated, they don't want to eat those animals. Or they do it for health reasons because they know that eating raw foods, not processed vegan foods, is a lot healthier for you, and it's a fact, right? Because if you know anything about health, and I won't get into it now because this is not that type of video, if you know anything about health, when your kidneys, your liver and all that gets sluggish from all the mercury from the fish, from all the fats, the high fats, even nuts, if you eat a lot of nuts and you eat a lot of high fat foods, it causes blockages and sluggishness and affects the vagus nerve, which comes VAGUS, and I haven't been going to Texas, from the bottom of the neck here, the occipital nerve around here down to the waist, if not longer. Right, the vagus nerve. When that's get affected, then we get all problems. So even with and soy, and I've been saying for years, and these are all my personal opinions and my personal experiences, don't touch soy, nothing soy. Avoid anything with soy in it if you can. Once you have soy, you get bloating, you get all sorts of hormonal issues. It makes you wonder. You know, I sort of look at people that look female, male in the middle, and I'm thinking, could it be all the soy products? Because soy affects the hormones. Soy affects the hormones. So they've been putting, if you look in a lot of the processed foods, they've been putting a lot of soy for some reason for many years now, 10, 20 years. So how do we know if that hasn't impacted on our reproduction? How do we know if that hasn't impacted on people, on kids that, you know, that want to become, who are a girl, want to become a boy. And by the way, friends, you know I'm not politically correct, and you know I say it raw. I believe in a male and a female, and if a baby is born with some kind of genital issues, still they're going to be male or female depending on their hormones. Doesn't matter whether you've got a penis or a vagina. You're going to know if you're a male or female. All this other mixing of genders is just like throwing all ingredients in a bowl and mixing everything and not knowing what you're mixing. It is an absolute mess, right? I'm not politically correct. You can go to other stations for that. I know what a male and female is. Right, now, I'm just going to make the celery juice now. So these protests that are happening now in, I'm just preparing the celery juice, as you can see, right? I've just got the, I'll show you what I've got here in the end. I'm going to put this on. I've got this that pushes down the celery. Battery's low, so my battery's low, so I'm not going to be as long as I want it. So what's going to happen is, the power plug is too far. So now we've got the protest because the Victorian government are stopping protesters going onto farms where there's animal abuse. And I understand that trespassing is wrong. I don't condone that and I don't approve of it. But I'll tell you something, friends. If you knew that there was a property where children were getting sexually abused or tortured, if you knew there was a property where a child is getting tormented and tortured, what would you do? There's no difference. What would you do? So anyway, this is what these protests are about in Victoria, from a good group of vegan people. Like I said, there's all sorts of people in the vegan community. We don't all like each other. All sorts of reasons and motives that they have. In fact, friends, the Animal Justice Party, which you should never, ever, ever, ever vote for, and I was involved very deeply with the Animal Justice Party up until 2016. They are the Labor Party and they are a front for the unions. That's all they are. They do not care about any animals, especially birds. They do not care about animals. They're just there to get the ignorant and the uneducated as votes, so they can be preferential votes for the Labor Party and for the unions. That's all it is. Sorry, my background is a bit white. I don't know. There's something going on with my lighting. Like every time I stand in front of the light, there's something going on. So the Animal Justice Party does not help animals. It never has. It's all a fake. And the people that they put at the front are all fakes. Anyway, so these are the protests going on. There are no protests for ambulances and for our health. And you know what, friends? Labor and Liberal and all the unions are don't give a shit about people. They've proven that, right? I don't have to get into the details of it. They don't care about people. And another thing also, everything on social media is today. Everything's on social media. If you look, I am on BitChute, on Telegram and everything, right? And I look at the videos and I think, like maybe once every few months, I'll look at a video to see what they are brainwashing their followers are. I don't follow anyone out there. I joined a lot of groups the past few years, as you know. A lot of that because I joined them to see what they're all about. Right? You join them. Because my intuition might have told me they're all frauds. But even I wanted to see the facts for myself. So I joined all these groups locally and overseas, and they are not genuine groups. I've been saying it for a long time, and I don't care. And I don't care what people think when I say that they're not genuine. The thing is, friends, is that when you see the comments and the posts that they have on Telegram, I think, what are they smoking? There is so much anger and so much hatred and so much stupid and irrational and illogical comments and action from people on Telegram. I'm thinking, I can't believe this even exists. I feel like I'm at the schoolyard at 14, 15 when I was being bullied, treated like shit from those bitches at high school. Right? I'm thinking, what are they talking about? What are they doing? There's nothing happening. Anyway, so I've now diverted more towards Twitter because it's more a politically motivated social platform. And I really encourage a lot of people to go onto Twitter more. I've been on it for quite many years, but I just don't read it as often as I should, but I have recently. Because in Australia we had, federal elections in May. So I've got my juice here. I'm going to show you my celery juice. I'm going to show you the celery juice now, right? So this is the pulp. And you can still put this celery pulp in to get more celery. Right, so this is the celery juice here. Okay, I've already got one here already. Already got one. That will last me for the morning. So you have it on an empty stomach. Have this on an empty stomach, right? I haven't eaten anything yet, and I know it's late. So I'm just going to get, and I use glass, my Pyrex glasses. So I'm just going to get another Pyrex glass to put some more celery. I've got heaps more celery juice stalks to go. I haven't even used one celery yet. Right? I haven't even used one celery. So I've been on Twitter, and when you had the federal elections, I thought, how did the Teals, who are these Teals? I didn't know about the Teals. I knew they were independents. Yes, I'm not that under the rock. I knew they were independents, but I thought, I was surprised that when they got a seat, I thought, okay, what are they all about? I saw that Simon Holmes supporters behind them and all that. I go, okay, fair enough. He's put money behind them. But then what happened is, I read this great article on Twitter a couple of days ago, friends, and I'll post it here on the comment section to see if one person on this planet reads it. because all my posts have been shadow banned from 2014, most of them. I know that. And I don't even get people's stuff on my timeline. I'm not even getting others. I'm getting only a couple of them. A couple of people's stuff on my timeline. I'm not getting any. So it's not just mine. I'm not getting your stuff either. I have to go on people's pages to see what they're up to, and I don't have time to do that. Unless there's something very important that I've got to check. So I'm just putting the celery in now. And this article was about how the Teals in Caulfield in Victoria, which has been a Liberal seat forever, how they managed to kick out Frydenberg and put in an independent, a lady, Monique Ryan, who's a child neurologist, I think, a pediatric neurologist. I hope I'm right. How she didn't have a political party, but how all these thousands of volunteers, the whole like-minded community managed in 6 months to get her in government. Right? How they did it. In 6 months, friends, they did it. Because they all had the same, they were all organised. This is an incredible article. They were all organised, they all had the same motive. There was no inner bitchiness and bullshit. If there was, I'm sure they kicked them out very quick. Right? Whereas all these stupid fake freedom groups who started in March 2020 is 2.5 years and they've done zero on purpose other than fundraise and fill up their pockets and sending over to Israel. That's all they've been doing. 6 months, what the organised people in the Caulfield community, in the Liberal seat, not just Caulfield, in the Liberal seat forever, kicked out Frydenberg. And you know what they did? The volunteers were door knocking and talking to people. And social media. Right? Josh Frydenberg did not knock on one door because it was his seat, right? He did not knock on one door. And the Liberals and the Labor's billboards were all negative against the other political parties. Whereas this independence billboards were expressing positive messages about what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. Not negative stuff against others. See, Liberal Labour and the Greens still have this old way of thinking. Very old, patriarchal, old-fashioned. You know, they think we're all fucking stupid. They're all fucking narcissists. This is what they are. They're all fucking narcissists. It's all about them. No one else. It's all how they can look good as husbands, as fathers, as politicians, in their stupid, ugly fucking suits that we pay for. They don't give a shit about anyone else. This is a narcissist. Zero empathy. Zero empathy. Sorry about my swearing. I shouldn't be swearing. Right? So I'm going to post this up. I don't watch any other videos now for babies. Excuse me one moment. Babies! Can you calm down, please? Babies! Hang on a second, friends. Just hang on a second. I'll be back in 1 second. Babies! Hang on, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. I'm here, friends. I'm very sorry to do that, but that's why I don't do lives. It's very hard. Because when I hear them shouting and screaming and whatever, I have to walk away. Now, I've got Crystal here, which I'll have to take her off me because she loves to pinch my cheek. This is Crystal, everyone. Say hello to everyone, Crystal. Now, friends, 6 months the Teals managed to get into government. Because they weren't watching all these bullshit videos that a lot of you have been watching and wasting your time on butcher. David Oxnell, they're all liars. What they're doing is they're manifesting fear. You don't get it, friends. You don't get it. I could shut my mouth and get on with my life. My life is fine. I have no issues in my life. No issues. No problems. I could get on with it. I'm trying to tell you that when you think of always negative things and watch negative things, you are manifesting that in your aura, in your energy, in your life. Some of you may say, oh no, I've left Victoria, I've left Australia, I've left whatever, I'm doing my life and whatever. No, you're not. You don't realise that watching this stuff is just going to put you more depressed. And when you get depressed, your energy levels not only physically flattening, because remember, everything's physical, it's not just energetic. You are inviting negative people, whether they're dead or alive, into your lives. And you don't realise it. You don't realise it. You realise it then when you're completely stuffed, your health stuffed, everything stuffed, and you're thinking, look what's happened in my life. Right? Sure. Some people now are holidaying over in Greece, are holidaying over in other countries because the airports are full. This is what I do. It's amazing how in Victoria, so many people on holidays. It's amazing. So many people have got the money and the time to go on holidays. How lucky are you? I haven't had a day off in 21 years. I can't because I'm busy looking after other people and other birds and parrots. And I've got mortgages to pay and I've got bills to pay. I don't have the money and the time to be going around. And if I do have the money, I'd rather spend it on these ones. Now, Crystal, you're going to behave yourself, please, because I'm talking to my friends. I don't understand. Stop watching this negative shit. It's not giving you anywhere. All these groups in Australia and overseas, they are all just trying to make you so depressed and so negative and so angry. Life has not changed, friends. Life has always been like this. It's always been hard. Sure, we didn't have lockdowns. There was a test. They tested us to see how far we're going to take it. They wanted to see how far. And the only reason we don't have a lockdown this winter in Victoria and in other Labor states is because of the Labor federal the state elections coming up in November. That's the only reason, friends, that we don't have a lockdown, because they want to introduce masks and stuff, and they can stick it up their asses. I wear masks when I'm out doing soil and dusty stuff and whatever, because I cough a lot with soil. Right? There's nothing wrong with masks, but not the way they want them. I mean, we know what's going on, but that's the thing. There we go. You see, there's going to be a fight now. It's going to be very hard for me to talk. They push to see how far. Watch this now. I'm not going to let them hurt each other, don't worry. Calvin! Come here, Crystal. See, this is what happens. This is why I can't do my videos. Crystal? Crystal? Down, Crystal. So I've got Crystal down. See, this is what happens, friends. I'm sorry about this. Anyway, I'm just trying to say, friends, stop listening to all this negative stuff. Calvin? Crystal? Stop listening to this negative stuff. It's going to make you so depressed, so unhappy. What you're going to do to get on with life, right? What's the solution? Stop it! What you're going to do is, Calvin's jealous. So 1 week he's with me and he's so jealous. Just stay there, Calvin. What you're going to do is you're going to look to work, pay your bills, be as healthy as you can, eat and drink as healthy as you can, get on with your life. But most importantly, friends, health is the most important thing. If you don't have it, you're screwed. Right? The next thing you got to do is we have to be around like-minded people who are not always negative, who don't just think about themselves and how they can live so nice and whatever in life. No. You're going to try and support like-minded people, not just financially, but also as a person to help them. Give them a meal, give them a drink, invite them over, invite each other over, talk about things, talk about how to progress and how to do things in life. Talk about how to support your kids, how to look after your kids, what your kids should learn to have jobs tomorrow. Right? The best jobs are tradie jobs. The best jobs are tradie jobs, because the traders we have at the moment, from my experience, are either full on drugs or don't give a shit to return calls. Don't give a shit to, I've got so much work here, tens of thousands of dollars of work to do, and I can't find any traders to do any work. That's the way to do it. No point going into the corporate world and stuff unless you know someone and you're going to get the job and whatever. There's no point. Trades work is the way to go, right? Now, can you just let me make some more celery juice? We have to support nature, and we have to support animals and birds. We have to. If we don't have carbon dioxide from the trees, if we breathe out carbon dioxide and give it to the trees give us oxygen. Come here, Crystal. No. Away from my celery juice, please. If we don't have trees and nature, we don't get oxygen from them. We don't get oxygen. Green gives us oxygen. We need the trees and nature for oxygen. And then we need bees to pollinate. We need the birds to pollinate. Birds pollinate too. Behave yourself, please, Crystal. Right? We need to care for nature and people and everyone around us like-minded. Because remember, not everyone has a soul. I've been saying this. Not everyone has a soul. And I'm sorry to say that most people, 9 out of 10 people are narcissists, meaning no empathy. They don't care about animals and nature. They just care about themselves, what car, house, holidays, what clothes to wear, going to relax and live their life. No. Get the towel. Give us the towel. Get the towel. Right? That's all they care about. And these are narcissists that just care about themselves. They don't care about anyone else, just themselves. Crystal, here's your towel. She loves the towel. Crystal, come here, play with your towel. Narcissism is so full-blown, they're not talking about it. All our politicians are narcissists. 9 out of 10 of them, 99% of them are narcissists. It's zero empathy, because if there was empathy, we wouldn't have all these health issues with ambulances, we wouldn't have all these political issues, we wouldn't have these problems. The whole public service, 99% of it, because I've worked in at least 8-10 departments in the public service, they're all narcissists. I've worked in the private sector too, they're narcissists there too, but you get a bit more humane people working within them. Whereas in the public service, you have to be a narcissist to survive. There's no other way. A narcissist, friends, if you don't know, someone who's got zero empathy, or only empathy for themselves. They want to be seen that they're doing the right thing. They want to be, when the cameras are on or whatever, they want to be seen that they're professional, doing the right thing. They think that the suit makes them look right and professional right. That's all. It's the complete opposite. Even if they're not wearing a suit, you can still be a narcissist. So that's not the trait. The main trait is zero empathy. And it's always talking about them and always wanting to make themselves look good. Always, now you're going to say, well, Paris, you do the same. I'm not doing it on the backs of other people. I'm not using other people. I'm not exploiting other people saying me. I give to a lot of people. I don't say these things. I give a lot of things to a lot of other people. I buy things for people. I do things for people. I spend hundreds of thousands on the birds every year from my own pocket. I don't get grants or anything. Now listen, Calvin, your feet need to be, we need a beauty session. We need to file your feet. I've got a professional file that I've got for over $50-60 for birds. Now, Calvin, your feet are a bit, on Mummy's skin is a bit sensitive. Please, friends, if you want to make any change or difference in this world, and it's not going to change in 5, 10, 50, 100, 200 years, it's not going to change. At this rate, the way life is, it's not going to change at this rate, the way life is. Why? Because the majority of the population in the Western countries, Australia, Europe, America, UK, Russia, all these, Russia's not Western, you know what I mean, it's Eastern, but you know what I mean, in these more progressive countries, all narcissists. All narcissists. The world is run by narcissists, friends. And you know what? I hate it when people talk about the elites and the elites and all this shit, right? I used to do it and that was wrong. I hate that because in our own families, every family has got a narcissist. Every family has got a pedophile. When I say family, I'm not talking about the small unit. I'm talking about the extended cousins, uncles, that. Every family's got at least one minimum, if not half narcissist, minimum. Every family's got a pedophile and incest. Every family's got a psychopath. It's not just bold and beautiful. In fact, if you want to learn about families and what life's all about, you'd be smart to watch Bold and Beautiful, Days of Our Lives, Young and the Restless, because they actually show you exactly, they are mirroring society. They're showing us exactly who's in our families. And you're saying, oh, Paris, you watch all this shit. All right, that's fine, friends. I'm trying to move out of the light so you can see me. Don't watch anything. Don't read anything. Don't know what's going on in the world. I don't get it. People don't want to read newspapers. They don't want to, it's nice to sit and have your breakfast, your celery juice while you're reading the newspapers. They don't want to see the news online. They don't want to see it on TV. They don't want to see. So what are you learning about life? Like, what are you learning about life? Is it just Facebook? Is it just this stupid Telegram, which is a load of bullshit? Is it just bitch shit, which is more load of bullshit? Sure, there's a lot of good stuff on these sites too. I'm on it, other people on it, Anthony Williams on it, so many good people on it. But I'm talking about making changes in life, in our personal lives and in society. See the lighting changes. I don't know why the lighting changes. I can't understand why people don't care to make changes, not only in their lives, but also around us. Now, friends, this electricity thing that's going on, that's another load of bullshit. This to keep the electricity narcissist managements in their jobs. That's all it is. Coal and nuclear are the worst energy you can have. Coal for obvious breathing reasons. It will kill all of us. It's already killing all of us. It's in the sky. Forget about the cloud seeding. Don't worry about the cloud seeding. The coal's doing it all. And the nuclear. All this nuclear stuff that got released in Japan and all that, and God knows from which other countries. We're breathing all that in. Now, you see one and the other. This is why I come to my videos when I've got them inside with me, right? And it's feeding time in the morning. Coal and all these gases and all this shit, that's not for us, friends. It's not ethical. It's not sustainable. It's not healthy for us. It's not healthy. A lot of you worry about this fucking vaccine. Seriously, grow a brain. Grow a fucking brain. That is another toxin, yes, added to our body. But look at everything else. Look at everything else. The smoking, the drugs, the alcohol, the junk food, the sugar, the nuclear leaks, the coal, the gas and everything. I mean, there's so many toxins out there and you worry about this shit. The fluorides in the water, all over the world and stuff. Seriously? I know it's an added toxin. It makes no difference. All these foods and alcohol that people are drinking, everything, that has already changed our DNA. That's why most of us are narcissists. It's already changed us. That's why we've got no empathy. It's already changed us. Because people would rather go on holidays and live their life than say, I'll spend my time that I've got available and my money to help someone less fortunate than me. Or to build a community the way the Teals did, and all the volunteers in the Caulfield and that area all got together to make a change. They didn't care about their holidays, they didn't care about this and that and whatever, which they rightfully deserve after all the work they put in for nothing. They actually did something. So then when a lot of you see people like me or others or other people who are moving on and progressing with our plans, our businesses and whatever, thinking, how the fuck are we doing it? It's because we don't just think of ourselves. We're trying to help community and trying to help other people around us and animals and nature and whatever. And that gives us strength and motivation for humanity. There's most of you out there are just interested in yourselves and how to go and lie on the beaches and have a holiday and do a shit. Sure, that's fine. But what are you doing also in the meantime? I know that most people, I was the same, most people who run businesses and who are up there and whatever, they actually always are working on their phones and their laptops. I used to do it too. Now, what I was saying before is every family, friends, it's not the elite on the gates and whatever controlling the fucking world. Get over that. It's not gates controlling the world. It's you controlling your world. It's your family controlling you. It starts in the family. Gates and TV and all that can't control us. They haven't got their hand or their voices in our ears constantly saying, do this, 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 and this, and this. Sure, the subliminal messages. It's our families, our partners, our people around us that are brainwashing us all day, every day, what to do. We as children, as babies, who brainwashes us first? Our families. Who tells us what to eat, how to live our lives? Our families. And sadly, friends, the truth is, like, you know, I'm not politically correct. Even those of the cowards of you who are in your 40s and 50s and 60s and 70s are still slaves of your parents because you're waiting for the frickin' inheritance. You'd rather sell your souls and do whatever mummy and daddy says just so you can get your inheritance. Well, don't blame Gates and the elites and the cabals and all them when they're getting on with their plans and strategizing their plans for the life. Don't blame them if your life is fucked. Don't blame them because you've allowed yourself to be controlled from your partner, from your parents, and from your relatives around. If your relatives say, oh, that's what you should do, that's what you shouldn't do. No, this is how you should do it, this is not how you shouldn't do it. You are allowing people close to you to brainwash you and manipulate you and control your life and your lifestyle. Do you understand that? And what's happened is all these, no, behave yourselves, because what she does is she kisses my throat. I don't like to be bitten on my throat. I stopped that 30 years ago. Now, do you understand what I'm saying, friends? Is that all these videos are saying all these bad things that all these people are doing out there? Because you don't look in your own families who is brainwashing you and what's happening in your own lives. In our own lives. In our own lives. Anyway, they say the divorce rate has hit the roof. Now, there's many reasons for that. One, because during the lockdown, you see, friends, because most relationships have got a Philip, can you sort of take, oh, you got the tubs for me, thank you. I'm still in my life. So what happened is most people, especially the West, or in all the countries, especially in Australia, married people, right, partnered people, are having affairs. But what happens in the lockdown is they could not have, Philip, can you get me a straw, a glass straw? A thin glass straw from there. During the lockdown, people couldn't go out and see and have their affairs, and they couldn't even do it on the phones because their partners and kids and all that were home. Thank you for that. I've got my glass straw, right? I'll put all this stuff up on the pages if you want to search for straws. You'll see where I get them from, right? They couldn't have their affairs. So what's happened is they got pissed off that they had to stay with a person that they didn't give a shit about. They couldn't live their life. No, someone's got to go. Someone's got to go. So now the divorces are shown through, because it takes a year or so to get your divorce. You know, you've got to show you're separated and stuff in Australia. No, see, Calvin's pissed off because I'm not paying attention to him. So it's gone through the roof. Divorces are going through the roof. That's what they were saying this morning. Did you hear that, Philip? Philip, why do you think the divorces have skyrocketed in Australia?
Living in each other's pockets.
Well, if people can't live together, though, then that means they're not compatible to be together. That's right, you see? You got it. From someone who's very, very straight, to the point, says it as he sees it. If two people can't live together, I know it's very hard 24/7, but that's not a reason to divorce. If you still love someone, you still respect them, there's no reason to divorce. Now listen, friends. You can still got issues here. You can still got major issues. She's on my chest again. Just please, friends, I really, look. You're seeing it live now. You're seeing they're not going to hurt each other because I know which birds to kill, right? And the birds do kill each other. And sadly, they kill each other. Crystal's all right. She's not going to hurt anyone. Now, I can't stay long. You can see it. They both want the attention. And this is good for you to see the experience. It's just like kids. They get jealous. They get jealous because Calvin's been on his own with his previous owner. So he didn't have the experience of sharing the time and attention with another bird. And Crystal's got his girlfriend, has got her boyfriend, Agape, who's in my logo, is the boyfriend. But the problem is that Crystal is so pissed off. Agape is very possessive. Right? That's why I haven't let Agape in, because they'd be fighting here. Very possessive. Birds are exactly the same as people, have exactly the same psychology and issues as people have. No difference. Stop it! Stop it. You're seeing it live, friends. You're seeing it live. That's what's very hard for me when I'm cleaning them and all that, because they all want to be around me. Please, friends, can you please keep for other people, nature, animals and birds? Please, can you do that? Not for me, but do it for yourselves. So we can live on a better planet, because this planet isn't getting anywhere. This planet isn't getting anywhere, friends. Things aren't going to change. Doesn't matter what country you are, doesn't matter which town you're in, which snow resort you're at, which beach you're at, whatever. This life is not changing. We've got to do, people have to start thinking differently. And what's happened is that these man-made bugs that they release out there, that they've been releasing since the 1800s at least, they are in the air, they're everywhere, in the hands everywhere, and they are making people zero empathy. They're making people have zero empathy. Zero empathy. People think they know what empathy is. You don't. Empathy is the opposite of narcissism. Narcissism is no empathy. You just think about yourself and what suits you in your lifestyle. Empathy is about people who care about themselves, but also care about other people around them, who are understanding, who are loving, who are considerate, who are compassionate. And there are different levels of empathy, different levels of narcissism. I might have some narcissistic traits if I'm dealing with narcissists, I have to become a narcissist. I have to. Because I can't let them walk all over me and screw me. I've had that happening for many years. They're showing the protests. So what they're doing now on Sky News is they're showing the Victorian protests that we had, that the freedom groups had in Kew 2 years ago, and the police, how they were treating. Isn't it funny how the police have suddenly disappeared? because Dan Andrews has not ordered them to go. It's not just Andrews, the Labor government. The Labor government has not allowed the police to go and bother people in their homes and that. Isn't it interesting what elections do? Now, friends, before I forget, I was talking about coal and nuclear, which is the worst thing. Geothermal energy is the way to go. Geothermal energy, I've got heaps of posts on my profile page under my name. You just in the search, you just click geothermal, Geothermal, geothermal. Geothermal energy are hot springs water underneath the earth. It's abundant. It's abundant. In fact, Australia needs 1%. Australia needs 1% of geothermal energy that we have, 1% of the geothermal energy that exists underneath for the next 20, 25, 30 years. Right? Can you imagine, do you know how abundant it is and how cheap it would be? How cheap and abundant it is. Now, in Australia, friends, India's using geothermal, America's using geothermal, Indonesia's got a lot of geothermal. Australia is not using geothermal energy. This is the cleanest, best energy for us to use for cooling, heating and everything. Right. In Australia, the government has worked with private geothermal companies. There's a lot of geothermal companies. One of them is Arena. I can't remember the other one. I think they're on the stock exchange too. And that has been in the plan for 5-10 years of how to set up the infrastructure for geothermal energy. So why the hell in Australia aren't we fucking using geothermal energy? Why aren't the Green political party? Why aren't independents? Why aren't the major parties pushing for geothermal energy? Why? Why are they only allowing the electricity and gas companies to have a monopoly on energy in Australia? Why, friends? You know why? Because no one has processes for geothermal energy. No one has pushed that thing spoken for geothermal energy. In 2 years on these freedom groups that I've been listening and watching on all the platforms, not one fucking person has mentioned geothermal energy because all these people are fakes. We have so much free and abundant energy on this planet that other countries, Indonesia, and other countries are using. But Australia, a 200-year young country, is not setting up infrastructure. I mean, we've got fuck all roads anyway. All we have to do, friends, is kick out all these narcissists that are in the government. Kick them all out. Kick them all out. Now, we've got Labor as the federal. I don't even believe that they even got in power. But it doesn't matter whether the elections were rigged or whatever. It doesn't matter. Because we as individuals, in 6 months, these independents in Victoria got a seat. In 6 months, what volunteers manage? Volunteers who are positive, inspirational, who look to the future, who are positive. Not watching all these bullshit videos about what fucking Gates does, elite do, and the cabal and all this shit do. Now listen, if you want some celery, I'll give you there. All right, have all the celery, it's all yours. They can have all the celery. I've got crystal in the celery bowl. Yeah, I've got crystal in the celery bowl. Here you go. You can have the celery, that's okay. Do you understand that's why we haven't achieved anything in 2.5 years? Is because we don't have the right leaders in the in the bullshit freedom groups to really help humanity. They are all frauds. This is why we're not moving forward. And friends, this is not just Australia. This is all over the world. This is all over the world. I'm very proud of what, I don't know the details and the policies of these tills. I don't know the policies. I'm not talking about the policies. I'm not saying to vote for the tills or the independents and all that. Tills meaning tills, right? The colour till, because it's a colour called till. I still need to check their policies to see who they represent, what changes they want to make, if they're doing anything for animal rights and bird rights. I'm going to check them out and I'll let you guys know where I'm standing with them. Because like I said, I've joined a lot of groups. I've joined, you know, your overseas American freedom groups. I've joined the Australian freedom groups. I've joined I joined the Animal Justice Party. I joined a lot of groups. And this is why I'm confident in what I say because I'm speaking from personal experiences. I'm not speaking from opinion. My opinion is based on personal experiences. It's not based on what I think of someone. I don't care who you are, how you dress and what you do. I look at your actions. Well, I do look at also what you look like. If you look like a bogan, you're going to think like a bogan. I'm not talking about the middle class bogans or whatever. You know what I mean. You know, these people that don't care about themselves, their presentation or whatever. That's another topic. So anyway, geothermal energy is the way to go. I'm going to be more on Twitter. I'm going to be pushing it more on Twitter. I'm going to be pushing bird rights and geothermal energy and positive messages more on Twitter. And talking about positive messages, after 20 years I realised that the new age industry is, here we go, friends, you're seeing it live. No, someone's got to get off. Crystal, there you go, friends. You want to see me real? You want to see my real life? This is my real life. Now, Calvin, they're very persistent. This is my real life. Stop it. Calvin. Friends, I can't say longer. I think you got the message of what I was trying to say. I can't even remember now what I was saying. I'm going to be more on Twitter. I'm going to post more stuff on Twitter. Get on Twitter to see what's really going on. Because Facebook is great for general stuff. But it doesn't talk about politics and what's really happening. Calvin! See, Crystal got my cheek? Don't worry, I've had my eyes almost out from some of them too. Jealousy, this is jealousy, friends. This is jealousy. I can't stay long because I don't want them to hurt each other. Calvin! Friends, I know some of you are probably laughing, but the claws on the throat. Stop it! She got my throat again. I've always shown you what my life is like, real friends. I don't hide behind cameras and I don't hide behind screens and backdrops and stuff. This is my real life. In fact, you've only pretty much seen 10% of my real life. You can't imagine all this because I can't get a camera on me. See what you did now, Crystal? Lorikeets are very strong, so you've got to be careful. They've got a very strong beak. They're very, very strong and persistent. And I allow birds to have a freedom of mind and thought and choice. And that's what gives them the confidence to be who they are. Right? But you've always got to be careful with birds always. God, the claws scratching the throat. Anyway, friends, search geothermal energy to see how abundant it is. I wish someone did a petition to push for it to be happening in Australia. The companies are there. There are Geothermal Australia organisations. They're all on my pages, friends, on my Facebook pages and my Twitter. The companies are there. In fact, if you've got a home or business, in my next home, I'm actually going to hire a geothermal company to install geothermal. They dig in the ground where your house is and they get the energy from there. I'm going to do that. And I'll do a video, but I don't know when I'm going to find the place. I'm hoping to find it this year. I'm going crazy 9 years later. I still can't find it. Stop it, Crystal. I still can't find a place, right, for the sanctuary because I need a lot of acreage for the birds. Cheers, everyone. So, friends, geothermal energy, why isn't anyone pushing it in Australia? The companies are there. They've already set it up. We can do it. And the governments have actually given money to these companies to do the research. So they know. And not one freaking politician has said anything about geothermal energy. And why I'm mentioning it? Because cooling and heating is very important, right? We need it. We need it for us. We need it for the animals. For our animals, we need it. We need it. Especially those who cannot afford it. And most of us cannot afford it, to be having cooling and heating all day, every day. We can't afford it. It's expensive. Why should it be expensive when we've got abundance of geothermal energy in the ground? Anyway, check it out. Google it and whatever. I'll put a lot on Twitter. Like I said, I'll put a lot on Facebook. I'll let you guys go because you can see they're going crazy. I've got to have my breakfast. It's probably, 9, 10 o'clock. I don't even know the time. Crystal, do you want to say goodbye to everyone? Just say goodbye to everyone. And you know why her feathers are like that. Feathers in birds happen like this for many reasons, right? Just like humans, it's exactly the same. It's either physical or emotional. Physical meaning there's a physical problem or emotional. So what happened is around, 6 years ago? There was a little mouse running around on the deck because Chris was on the deck. I've got a deck, every deck. right? Little mouse was running around. And I didn't realise that this mouse was running beside Crystal, and she was getting upset with it. This is at night. And Crystal was getting upset with that. And I don't know if the mouse rubbed against her chest or whatever, and she started pulling, but she doesn't pull feathers. She never pulls feathers. And it's just been like that. It's just stopped. But you can see she's healthy, she's well, she's fine. She's flown out in the neighbourhood quite a few times. I've gotten her back with a guppy. They're fine. They've just got issues, just like us. People have bald spots, people are bald. People have got issues. Doesn't mean that they're dead. Doesn't mean we've got to put them down or euthanize these people, whatever. We've all got health issues. No one's perfect. Anyway, friends, I'll let you guys go because as you can see, I'm trying to multitask and do a million things. Please listen to Sky News. Now she's going to... I just don't want it to go in my chest to nibble my cheek again. See, the other one's jealous. Here we go. Friends, I can't stay. You can see this. There's a lot going on here. And there's a lot. Welcome to my life. Friends, this is just 1%, 10% of my life. 10%. You have no idea everything else I'm doing. These are my children. I'm trying to build a better world for my children. I'm trying to build a better world for your children, for my children. What can I say, friends? What can I say? Anyway, have a great Sunday. Have a great day. I'll speak to you guys soon. Sorry I walked off before. I've got so much to say. I just don't have the time. Please, keep away from this negative shit. Keep away from this negative shit. Be only around people who are optimistic. I don't like the word positive because it's got the wrong connotation from the new age industry. It's all bullshit. And I've got to do a video on that, a proper video about why and I've said it many times, why the new age industry, meditations, crystals and all that, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Be optimistic. And look at people in your lives who are impacting you, who are affecting you, and who are influencing you negatively. And change that first. Because if you don't change your immediate environment, you cannot change the environment out there. You can't. You just can't do it. All right, that's enough now for today. I think Mummy's had enough. Had enough love bites on my throat. All right, everyone, have a great day. Sending you all high vibrations. All right, here we go, friends. Bye, everyone. Bye. Hey!